Now can you please stay erect for me, please? Hello friends, and welcome to your favorite series on the internet, Makeup and Movies, where we basically have a sleepover, we do our makeup, and talk about a movie we really like or hate. We have a really good time here, so if you're interested in this kind of thing, subscribe if you want. I put these out as often as my depression allows me. So before we get into today's episode, I wanted to do a quick little shout out to some other creators, women, who do this type of thing. You guys seem to love so much when I do makeup and talk about something completely unrelated. I think you guys will really like them. The first person I want to talk about is Kenny JD. She has a series called Bad Movies in a Beat where she basically does exactly this, which is she does her makeup, she talks about a bad movie. I have no idea how YouTube never recommended her to me before, because she literally is probably one of my favorite creators now. I actually found out about her through you guys, my viewers in the comments. She is so funny, so incredibly much more well-spoken than I am. And she is also very consistent with her series. She gets them out like every Saturday consistently. I'm not quite so good at that, so definitely check her out. Next person I want to talk about is Sydney Black. Sydney has a series called Makeup and History where she will do her makeup and kind of talk about historical events. Sometimes it's a scandal, sometimes it's just like educational. It's so interesting, very fascinating, and again, she's stunning, she's skilled. Check her out. Then of course we have beautiful Miss Bailey Sarian, who I'm pretty sure is the one who kind of pioneered this little thing. I don't know, people are probably gonna attack me for saying that, but she was at least the first person I had seen who kind of started doing her makeup and telling a story, you know, that was completely unrelated to the makeup. She does the makeup and murder mystery. I guarantee you guys already know who she is, but if you don't, you should. And then lastly, shout out to my friend Sarah. Her channel is called Better Off Red. She has her makeup and true crime series where she, you know, will do her makeup, talk about like a true crime story, and just be warned, if you watch Sarah, she will make you laugh hysterically at things that are horrible that you shouldn't laugh at. She did a video about the Kansas City Ripper, I think was his name. I was trying so hard not to laugh, but her delivery and her timing, she's amazing, so check her out. And guys, these are just who I know of. If you know of any more creators that do this, feel free to leave them down below. I think this is such a cool thing that people are doing, and I hope more creators jump on board, because it's all I want to watch right now. So, with that being said, let's get into today's episode of Makeup and Movies. Today we're talking about the incredibly weird musical from Justin to Kelly, starring Justin Guarini and the amazing Kelly Clarkson. So from what I understand, from what I'm reading on the internet right now with my computer in front of me, is that Kelly was contractually obligated to do this film. It was part of her contract with American Idol. Right after she won, she literally had to do this film. She cried about it. She describes it in a Vanity Fair article as a very dark time in her life. I don't blame you. And she says that she's really thankful that she was allowed to put her first single out, Miss Independent, before the release of this film, because otherwise she thinks this film would have ruined her career. And yes, it's that bad. So friends, get ready to have your retinas burnt out of your skull when we come back from Justin to Kelly. I don't know if you guys know this, but Revolution Beauty, like the makeup brand, they came out with skincare. So I'm gonna use this Kika cream. Y'all were all over me about the way I pronounced the word coccyx, so I don't, if I say this wrong, I'm sorry. Oh god, it's cold. All right, so friends, from Justin to Kelly. Wow, terrible. So guys, I'm pretty sure this movie was made by somebody who had never seen a movie and never heard a song, because everything about this movie and all the songs in it are trash. Now, I'm not saying that about the singers, okay? Kelly's amazing, Justin's amazing. I'm just saying the writing was just, you'll see, okay? Just pay attention. The movie opens with good old Kelly Clarkson singing on stage for no one. She's singing at like a little dive bar. And of course, she sounds amazing, looks just incredibly 2000s with her little chunky highlights. We meet this guy, Luke. He's soups creepy. He's hitting on her. You can tell it's not the first time that he's hit on her. She tells him that she's not interested. He says he's gonna blow her over.
I'm like Hurricane Luke. Pretty soon I'm gonna blow you over.
Okay.
That sounds fun. And then Kelly's two besties show up. So we have Kaya, I believe is her name, and what's the blonde girl's name? Alexa. They show up and they're just totally bugging. You know, their Sprung Brock trip to Florida, it got canceled and they don't have a way to get there. They're totally out of vehicles.
Our charter airline went bankrupt.
Daddy took my car and my wheel suitcase doesn't have an engine.
Alexa is extra bummed because she already bought 23 bikinis for the trip.
She already bought 23 bikinis.
Anyway, they are trying to convince Kelly to go on their spring break trip with them. A, because they need a ride, but B, because they want Kelly to come, you know? And Kelly's like, no, I can't. You know, she really doesn't want to go, but then Luke burps.
Okay.
And then she's convinced, like, all right, I gotta get out of here. I'm just gonna use the lighter of the two foundations as my concealer. What was I saying? Also, they like threatened to kill her.
We'll kill ya.
So needless to say, she's on board. They're headed to Florida for Sprung Brock. So then we cut to some drone shots featuring Kelly Clarkson's weirdly recorded rendition of that vacation song that's in every vacation movie. Vacation all I ever wanted. You know. I think it was in the Rugrats movie also. And you know, this part is very creative. Whoever directed / edited this, they did something really fun. They put the opening credits onto like the road signs, you know? And I just really liked how it pretty much looks like an 11-year-old. It looks like I did it on Final Cut. They just chose the Helvetica font and was like, directed by Robert Iscove. Anyway, friends, then we have the privilege of meeting the Pennsylvania Posse.
The Pennsylvania Posse.
And boy, are they something. Especially this guy with the frosted tips. His name in the movie is Brandon, but we're just gonna call him Kyle. Cool Kyle. Doesn't he just look like a Kyle? Cool Kyle is really cool. He's physically incapable of forming relationships.
Then I'm genetically incapable of forming long-term relationships with women.
Cool story, bro. Anyway, we got Cool Kyle, we got Nerdy Eddie, who's a nerd. He really wants to find his internet girlfriend while they're there. Wait a minute, what did he just say?
You guys should see her webpage. You click on her head and opens up, you can see her brain.
Oh my gosh, I have no pores on my chin because of that pore vacuum. Yes. And then we have Justin, played by Justin Guarini, who was the runner-up to Kelly Clarkson in the first season of American Idol.
The winner of American Idol 2002 is Kelly Clarkson.
He's amazing. And you know, he just kind of plays like the typical male heartthrob in every tween movie. You know, he's good looking and swaggy enough to hang out with Cool Kyle, but he's also not like other guys because he's sensitive and he respects women. So unique, I know. I'm like powdering my whole face for some reason. So I used to always use that CC Beauty palette from Amazon for like my cream paints, and I was about to repurchase it, but then I saw this one from Cruise. It looked more practical with its shape, so we're gonna try this one today. It's kind of fishy. It has like the exact same colors of the other one. I have no idea what look I want to do today. I kind of want to keep it simple. Why am I using these? How about this one? What was I saying? Oh yeah. So they're chilling at the beach. You know, the Pennsylvania Posse. But then Kelly and her friends show up and oh my gosh, it's a musical. I think I knew that this was a musical. I did. I knew that this was a musical, okay? But somehow, within the first few minutes of the movie, I just forgot, I guess, and this just totally caught me off guard. And it's really no shade to musicals, okay? I like musicals, I like Broadway shows, I did them in high school and stuff, but I don't know, there's something about this just wasn't built up in the way I thought it should be built up. Anyway, the opening number is just incredible. I could not have asked for a better performance. Even Nerdy Eddie is singing. They're dancing with their beach towels. The dance moves, all of the dance moves in this movie just look so painful. They do a lot of like duet dance work. I don't know what you would call that, but you know, they partner up and really seem like they're hurting each other. Like look at this shot where Kelly's leaned backwards over Justin's knee, like ow. I also really like this guy in the green shorts. This just really put me in a good mood because it was so bad. But my happiness was short-lived. The song kind of ends abruptly. There was no real big finale. They're all just dancing. Yeah. So anyway, you guys want to go to the sandbar later? I don't know though, I always feel a little weird when a song ends in a musical and then everyone immediately just kind of goes back to normal. I always picture like, what if this were real life and everyone really did bust out into a song? Personally, like after the song ended, I wouldn't really be able to make eye contact with anyone. This looks fun. So guys, good scene coming up here. Brandon, aka Cool Kyle, is still just really trying to get Nerdy Eddie to forget about finding his internet girlfriend while he's there and just live it up. But he obviously can't just say those words, he really has to drive the point home. So to drive the point home, he busts out into a rap, and it's obviously the best, meaning worst, rap I've ever heard. I just want to listen to it really quick.
So dude, you wanna pick up chicks? I'll give you the secret. You want mad phone numbers and make them beg you to keep it? You'll be heartbreaking, better yet heart busting. Just follow me and Justin and soon they'll be lusting. No need to sweat, I'm your mentor, I'm clever. The ones at the bar and the ones at the pool, the triplets Tammy.
Wait, did he just say Tammy? Now, that would be a dream if Tammy had showed up at this part. In fact, maybe we should just, you know, make that happen.
The triplets Tammy, Sammy, and Tammy from my old high school. But it's cool, cause
Hey, did you say Tammy?
Just listen to Brandon and soon they'll be standing with you. Just stack up the layers on your heart and then savor this flavor of freedom. We gotta date them and leave them. Goodbye, see you later, catch you maybe next season. So you ready now, Eddie? You're a chick-seeking missile. So follow my plan and make all the girls whistle.
Holy my.
You doing anything later?
Yeah, trying to get that image out of my head.
Well, hey, everybody's pro shops, right? And on that note, let's cut to a commercial. So friends, back at their respective hotel rooms, everybody is just kind of chatting about what they're gonna do later that night. The nerdy guy, Eddie, he is just dying for high-speed internet so he can chat online with his babe. In fact, he's so desperate that he mistakes this rotary phone for the internet.
How am I gonna log on?
What would a tween movie from the early 2000s be without a dim-witted dummy character? So they head back to the beach. This guy's tap dancing again. It looks super painful. Kelly and Justin are kind of looking for each other. You know, they're thinking as one does. And then we cut to Cool Kyle, and Cool Kyle finds himself in a little bit of hot water. He gets in trouble with this guy who looks kind of like Hard Rock Nick.
Hi guys, it's Hard Rock Nick.
Typical Kyle, getting into so many shenanigans throughout this movie, and I just want you to take note of this police officer who keeps nailing him with tickets and stuff. It comes back. So Sigma kind of revamped their warm neutrals palette. They used to be those little dang it. They used to be those little square palettes, but now they're like these rectangular palettes. I feel like I can see the colors better. I don't know why I feel that way. Anyway, Justin and his friends, the Pennsylvania Posse, they are in charge of a bunch of like little events at this spring break party. Justin in particular, we find out, is in charge of the whipped cream bikini contest, which is exactly what it sounds like. Ugh. He has these wristbands that he like wants to give to the participants, and the blonde girl, Alexa, she just kind of comes out of the woodwork and steals him, and it escalates so quickly. It's so violent. Anyway, Justin obviously has to get out of this crazy situation, so he runs and hides in the girls' bathroom and of course runs into Kelly. And guys, if you didn't know this, Kelly's friends call her Kelly for short.
My friends call me Kelly for short.
So wait, what's the long form of the name Kelly? Kellethy? Can that please be her new name, guys? Kellethy, yeah. So anyway, she tells Justin, like, look, Justin, it's okay. You can escape through this window. Justin's like, no, my hair won't even fit through that window. And then she proceeds to tell him what every man loves to hear.
I've seen bigger.
Jeez, Kellethy. Take it there. Anyway, she kind of cheerleaders him out. He quotes Chris Farley.
Oh, it's gonna leave a mark.
And then Kelly kind of attempts to give him her phone number. She writes it on like a napkin in lipstick, tosses it to him, but it lands in some gross water. And that is the beginning of the miscommunications between Kelly and Justin that will frustrate you to the point of wanting to pull your teeth out. That was aggressive, I'm sorry. So then we cut to this incredibly uncomfortable scene where this guy Carlos is dumping salt all over Kaya's lap for some reason. I think there was some sort of purpose to it. I don't exactly remember what it was, but all I know is that it was really weird, and I just felt like Tammy could have made this scene a little bit better. I kind of felt like it should have gone like this. Excuse me, sir. Can you put some salt in my lap? Thanks. Hey, you know, my granddaddy used to say salt in the pants makes the turkeys dance. Gobble, gobble. And on that note, friends, let's take a break, and trust me, you'll want to return after the break because it gets real scandalous. I'm gonna go grab a drink. We're back, and I have one eye done already of eyeliner. I find it really hard to talk while doing a wing. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try. I didn't want to try with both. Where were we? So Justin is looking for Kelly like he is in much of this movie. Oh my gosh, that's not even close. Dang it. And obviously he cannot get a hold of her because, like I said earlier, her phone number got ruined in the water. So he's hoping to run into her in person, but thankfully he runs into her friend Alexa. Oh my god, what just happened right there? A literal chunk of eyeliner chunked off. Look at the wrist, look at the look at her wrist. He bumps into her friend Alexa, who says that she's giving him Kelly's number, but she actually gives him her own. I know. She's a snake. Also, what is with her friend's cell phone? I rewound this a couple times and I'm pretty sure they used 2 different phones. Like, nobody on the editing team thought we would catch that. Look at this lash vault thing from ColourPop. I don't even know which one to choose. I think I'm gonna go with these ones. Yeah. So Justin gets a text from Kelly, it's actually Kelly's friend. You know, are you following? And she says she's not interested. Snake. Meanwhile, Kaya is just totally blowing it with Carlos.
Me? Adventurous? Heck yeah. I mean, hell yeah. I say hell all the time. Hell, hell, hell.
They really made her character a bit of a klutz. However, he ends up taking her salsa dancing and you finally get to hear her sing, and wow, if that's really her, she's amazing.
It's meant to be.
So the next day, Kaya is trying to tell her friends about her amazing night of salsa dancing, and Snake Girl Alexa is just super bored.
Yawn.
You know what? Who invited this girl? But anyway, in addition to the number of snaky things that this girl has done, she also went ahead and took it upon herself to enter Kelly in the whipped cream bikini contest.
You entered me in a whipped cream bikini contest?
And Kelly has been saying pretty much from the beginning that she finds it to be gross and degrading and she wants nothing to do with it. So thanks, Alexa. She doesn't want to do it, but she still shows up for some reason. And when she finds out that it was Justin that is in charge of organizing the whole thing, oh my god, she is not happy. She smashes some whipped cream in his face and then like has to run away to her hotel room to pout, obviously. So later on, Kelly is at a burger joint ordering a triple bypass burger.
Triple bypass?
That was weird. When Justin comes up and, you know, he just wants to explain himself. But instead, he dumps hot sauce all over her crotch area.
You should really try the hot sauce.
Oh. Can you imagine how bad that's gonna burn? I really liked his response to his own mistake. He's like, look, I'm a lot less dorky than you think.
I promise, I'm slightly less dorky than you think. So what do you say?
So what do you say?
Napkin.
This is some quality cinema here, folks. Anyway, the hot sauce debacle must have just really done it for her, because then she agrees to go on a boat ride with him later that night.
Yes, yes.
Calliope, are you okay? Meanwhile, Cool Kyle is making some profits off of the bikini contest. He made like $700.
750 bucks. Oh man, I rock.
But do you rule, Cool Kyle? Because I rock and rule. So guys, Custon and Jelly are on their boat ride and things are really starting to heat up.
Baby, come close,
And I just want to point out that both of them have an amazing talent for lip syncing like a really powerful note but keeping a blank face. Like that's a high note to belt and she's just like... Anyway, it's obviously going well for Kelly, but it is not going well for Kaya. She gets Carlos fired.
You don't even pay him overtime.
You're fired.
But then this next part I actually liked because Snaky McGee, you know, Alexa, she finally gets what's coming to her in the form of like 18 Bloody Marys being dumped all over her head. She freaked me out there a little, guys. I'm not gonna lie. For a second, I thought she was gonna like turn into Carrie. Oh boy, that's a lot of bronzer. Anyway, the next day rolls around. Nerdy guy's getting a tan. Snaky McGee is at a bar singing a weird song with a weird melody. I can't take it. Stop with your answer.
A girl who stays at home alone.
My ears hate this so bad. I feel like they did not use the same vocalist that they did in the first song because she was good in that one. I don't know. The whole reason that Snake Girl is at this bar in the first place is because earlier that day, she once again texted Justin claiming to be Kelly and told him to meet her there. I guess so that she could steal him. She kind of acts like, oh yeah, I don't know where Kelly is. I guess she stood you up, Snake. Meanwhile, Kelly is waiting on the beach with her early 2000s updo and she's upset. You know, she's really wishing some intense things for Justin.
It better be that he got hit by a car and he's in the hospital on his deathbed.
Relax. It's just a date. Anyway, no matter how hard she tries, it just seems like Snake Girl cannot get Justin to forget about Kelly. So she pulls out all the stops, takes it way too far, and she tells him that Kelly actually has a boyfriend back home. And at this point, I was just infuriated. I was like, how long are they gonna let this go on? Justin doesn't believe her because he's smart. He dips out and she makes a sneaky little phone call. You don't really know who she's talking to. She just gets on the phone and she's like, hey, how soon can you get here?
Yeah, how soon can you get down here?
Wonder who it is. So, side note, guys, while this whole dumpster fire of a movie is burning, there's this whole little like side plot going on, like there is in most movies, with Nerdy Eddie. He's just, the whole time he's like getting into all these crazy shenanigans. He gets super sunburnt, he gets punched in the face, and then he ends up making friends with the guy who punched him in the face. All the while, he's looking for his internet girlfriend, who of course keeps walking right past him but missing him. It's completely irrelevant to the storyline, but I wanted you to know. So the next day, there's another big event that Justin and his cool friends are hosting. MTV is there. Kelly and Kaya show up ready to party, and they do a really good number. It's my favorite song in the whole movie. I don't know what it's called. It's just my favorite.
Change your mind, change the sheet, and me must be.
One reason I love it so much, and it brought me so much joy to watch, is because the sun is in their eyes the whole time. So the whole time everybody's performing, they're real squinty. I don't really know why that was so funny for me. That's like one of those subtle things about bad movies that make me realize that in a good movie, it shouldn't be like that. You know, I feel like normally there would be some sort of shade or light diffuser or something, just so all the actors aren't like trying to dance.
I see it all, baby.
Do you though? Do you see it all? I also think, knowing now what I know about the fact that Kelly like hated doing this, the fact that she had to sit there and squint through her dance moves, it just makes it even funnier for me. And then the other reason I loved this part is because this song has the best dance moves out of any of the musical numbers. Like, seriously, what is this? I really wanted to try and recreate some of these with Nick, but I just couldn't do it. There's no way I could hang off of his body like this girl is. God, it looks painful. Anyway, guys, you remember Creepy Luke from the beginning? He shows up, okay? So that is who Alexa called to come and pretend to be Kelly's boyfriend. He shows up, he lays one on Kelly, Justin gets ticked. Meanwhile, this guy is just jamming so hard. And of course, instead of having just like a 3.5 second long conversation about which one of them is not Kelly's boyfriend, they naturally decide that the only way to resolve the problem is by doing this weird like beanbag hoverboard game. Cool Kyle keeps calling them hover dudes.
Okay, hover dudes!
At first I thought there was no point to this scene, but then you learn that the point of this scene is for Creepy Luke to get hurt, so that he has to go to the hospital so that he and Kelly can be alone for a second outside the hospital. And that's when she finds out that Alexa is the one who called him.
Well, Lex called and told me you needed me.
Alexa.
She's starting to put it together, guys. So Alexa meets up with Justin again later and tells him to move on.
I mean, move on.
She straight up kisses him, leaves some shiny spit on his face. It's pretty gross. She just gets snakier and snakier. Right? Meanwhile, Kaya is also having a rough time. Carlos tells her to get out of his life because she made him become a busboy. But it's okay, he immediately changes his mind and takes her to like a fancy pool dinner, literally in the pool. I really liked this scene because Carlos walks her up to the pool to where it's clearly in her line of vision, and then he turns her body 1/4 of an inch and he's like, now open your eyes. Good job, Carlos. Thank goodness you turned her body 1/4 of an inch because she definitely couldn't see it from that angle. Anyway, Kelly finally confronts Alexa.
Alexa, I saw you with Justin today.
And I swear, every single time that they say her name, Alexa, I kept thinking they were gonna follow it up by saying something like, Alexa, add beef and cheese to my grocery list. That name is just doomed. If your name's Alexa, I'm so sorry. Anyway, like the little snake she is, Alexa slithers her way out of it, tells some more lies, her and Kelly hug. Any day now, Alexa's gonna get what's coming to her. Anyway, Custard and Jelly, they finally get to say some words to each other, imagine that. And despite how terrible this movie is, I kind of felt like Kelly Clarkson was a pretty decent actress. She mustered up some real tears for this scene. And then finally, Alexa gets caught. Kelly picks up her phone and she finally sees that this entire time Alexa has been texting Justin. I mean, Justin. And then we finally see Alexa show a little vulnerability. She's like, look, I did it because I was jealous. Oh, well, in that case, if you were just jelly of Kelly, totally forgivable. So then Kelly, of course, sing-walks her way home. I thought it was an incredibly strange song choice. If you listen to the lyrics, they don't pertain at all to the situation at hand.
I'll help you be
but what do I know? Anyway, Justin shows up.
Come here often?
And Kelly's like, Justin, I thought you were leaving. Justin responds, he says, I was. In fact, I was on my way to the airport. And Kelly goes, well, what stops you?
I did.
I don't know why that was so funny to me. I did. There was something about that sneak attack. I don't know. Come on, puff me. You're not puffing me. Anyway, Justin really caught me off guard here.
It feels great that I could be.
There's something about the songs in this movie that just catch me off guard. I don't know. Like, I don't feel like a song's coming and then it just comes. It feels really great. That I could be the one. So finally, guys, it's the party of the summer. Everybody gets what they want. Nerdy guy finds his internet girlfriend.
Hotterod@markmail.com.
Cool Kyle finally gets that cop that's been finding him the whole time. Turns out she's also good looking. Like, that wasn't obvious before. Kaya gets Carlos, Kelly gets Justin, and they end the movie with another choreographed dance to That's the Way, I like it, And then we are finally free of the confines of this movie and we never have to watch it again. Although I'm definitely going to. I feel like I had to have skipped a part. Did I skip a part? Okay, my computer's right here, so obviously I have to look the movie up on IMDb. It's tradish. So according to IMDb, the budget for this film was $12 million estimated. Opening weekend in the US, it grossed $2.7 million, and the gross in the US was $4.9 million, so they lost money. Can't imagine why. And also, to keep up with our tradition, I have to read you guys my favorite review. This user gives the movie 1 star. This review is entitled Awful, simply awful. Yes, it finally came on cable, and in order to keep up my credentials as an expert on bad film, I had to deal with the monstrosity sooner or later. So without further ado, oh my God. Who thought this was a good idea? I gotta agree with you. Read that whole review if you have time. It's pretty good. Also, please be sure to check out this review entitled I Don't Want to Live Anymore. 1 out of 10. Well, Kelly, you know, I'm really sorry that this happened to you, but I appreciate it a lot. It's definitely going to be another rainy day movie. It's ripped onto my laptop now so I can watch it anytime, anywhere. Anytime I want to hear this sound again. Party till the day is gone. So that's it for me today, friends. You know, I have to say my makeup didn't really turn out the way I had wanted it. Oh, what? I think I like the other cream paint palette better. It wasn't quite so, you know, creasy. Anyway, thank you for suggesting this movie to me. It was an absolute gem. It was a joy to watch. I got a really, really good laugh at a lot of scenes, especially like all the backbreaking dancing. And I can't wait to watch what you recommend next. Also, be sure to check out any of the creators I mentioned at the beginning of this video. See you guys in the next one. Bye. Let's see how loud that is. Welcome to Bank of America. I wanted to put the rest of
You just drink it, you weirdo. I can't. Why?
Oops. Oh my God, what is happening? Seriously, what? Cool Kyle is physically incapable of creating. What is he? I don't have my brush. Cool. Oh. You're already recording. Oh God. Are you fixable? Are you fixable? Wait, is there more chunks? Oh my God, there is. My mirror's too far away, I think. Mocha chocolate, Creole lady mama. I do not have room to do this series on my computer desk. Never let me do it at this angle again.
That I could be the one to give you all that you've been searching for.
Hey, you're pretty cute there, young fella. What's your name?
I'm Carlos. And you're cute too, but not in a way that makes you seem easy.
Thanks.
Hey, wait a minute. Who said anything about eating?